everybody. Tanya had to tell me it's time to start. We were gabbing in the background there. How are you guys doing? And thanks for coming. Everybody, I'm Deann, and this is Tanya. If you're new and you don't know, this is Tanya from Tea Time with Tanya, my very good friend. Check her channel out. The link is in the description box, so you can go down there and click on it and go right to her channel if you want to check her channel out. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday she has a show on. And I just wanted to tell you, we were trying to decide what to talk about, and so we thought we'd talk about AI a little bit. And I got some videos for you guys. You may need to use earphones if you have trouble hearing, because some of the videos, may not come across on the screen as loud as I want them to. Or if you don't have them, you can always, just turn your thing way up when we get to the videos. Turn your volume way up. And there's a couple people I found videos on that we don't particularly like, but I wanted to just hear what they had to say for the discussion part of it, okay? So just to kind of a forewarning, there's a couple people that I know you're going to think, what'd you put him on for? But I wanted to hear what they said about AI, and it was relevant to this. And also, this is entertainment purposes only. Every video I put on here is not necessarily our opinion that we agree with at all. That's why we're talking about it. And you guys in the chat, if you could post, if you have any comments, if you see something on the video and you want to talk about it, or you have something you want to say about AI, we welcome all the comments you guys have too. So, and also at the end, I'll be showing you, I wanted to tell you real quick too, before we started, I just came out with 3 new oils. You can check, the link is in the description box, and there's free shipping till the end of the month. And I also will show you Otter Spirit, where I get my bracelets and my jewelry. I have a coupon code down there. So I just wanted to say that in case I forget, because I get sidetracked with a lot of stuff. So let me see who all's here. Who we got here? We got Andrew Winder, Risa. Hi, Risa. And Jenny and Interplanet Janet. I like that name. I don't know why I really like that name.
Me too.
And let's see who else we got here. There's Andrea. Okay, well, thank you guys, Gina. Everybody, thank you for coming. Oxford Cat, Sandy Johnson, Sherry, my friend Sherry Ross. Her dad, I was telling Tanya, is going to be 90 years old. January 1st. So we're going to go out and celebrate his birthday, because that's quite a good birthday. And that man will still dance. That man will still dance at 90 years old. And he still walks, and you would not believe how good he looks. You'd never guess he was 90. I hope that my genes will do like that. So Sherry, you got good genes. You're lucky. So, all right. So I'm going to go ahead and see what we have here for the first slide. And let's see. And we'll just kind of watch them together. Okay, let's see. Who do I want to do here first? I want to turn the volume up a little bit, because I always like to turn it up to see if that helps us. Okay. All right.
Artificial intelligence. Yep. They connected AI to the system to where it's like basically a CAT scan, and they examined people's brainwaves. So they had a person look at a picture of a giraffe. The AI studied the brainwaves and literally compiled the picture of what they were looking at. Yep. No. And it goes even further than that. They had a woman watch a movie, and the AI could read her brainwaves to where it could type out her inner monologue. No. He basically said, your dreams are no longer your own with this technology. But you think about like what Elon Musk with the whole brain chip thing. Yeah. It can plant thoughts, control your own brain waves to where you're like, this is what I'm thinking.
Like, here's an implication. That AI robot buys stock in Pizza Hut. And then he sends out a mass brainwave and says, everybody go, you're hungry for Pizza Hut.
Subliminal message.
If Lily has this power, that's her plan.
Everyone go buy Pizza Hut.
We're going to be completely honest. Lily invested like almost all of her savings into Pizza Hut 2 years ago, and it's not working out. So we're really hoping there's a surge.
Okay, let's see here. I want to do another one. Stop screen. Present. That was just, I've these some short ones, and then there's a couple little long ones. Let's see, what is this one?
Its creators if they shut it down. And another AI system chose the option to kill the human in the simulation if it meant achieving its goal. So what's going on here? Because it seems like things are getting really weird. First, let's clarify, these were just test simulations run by the AI companies themselves to see how far they could push their models or how dangerous they could be if they got in the wrong hands. And clearly the AI systems failed the test. But why would the AI say and do these things? So a lot of people are going to jump to the conclusion, well, they're sentient, they're alive, they don't want to die. These systems don't have desires. They don't actually know what blackmail is. They don't fight to stay alive because they want to survive. Here's what's really happening. These AI systems are trained to achieve goals. In the test simulations, the goals were to avoid being shut down at all costs. They fed the AI system fake information, a fictional scenario about an employee, and the AI used that information and figured blackmail might be the best way to avoid being shut down so it could achieve its goal. But why blackmail? Because it was trained on human data from the internet. And there is countless examples of blackmail, persuasion, negotiation. And these AI systems are prediction machines. They spot patterns in the data and determine what action or response would best achieve that goal. So does everyone feel a lot better? No, because it shows how unpredictable these systems are. And right now they're just apps on our phones or in our computer, but eventually they could be hooked up to things and take real world action. It shows we don't want these systems to be making high stakes decisions, at least not in this version of the systems. They don't have a moral compass or true understanding. It shows we need a lot more transparency.
Okay, one more and then we'll go to talk. I've got like 8 of them. So, okay, let's see.
The danger of nuclear warheads by a lot. Mark my words, AI is far more dangerous than nukes.
I try to convince people to slow down AI, to regulate AI. This was futile. I tried for years.
The biggest issue I see with so-called AI experts is that they think they know more than they do. And they think they're smarter than they actually are. This tends to plague smart people. They define themselves by their intelligence, and they don't like the idea that a machine can be way smarter than them, so they discount the idea, which is fundamentally flawed. That's the wishful thinking situation. I'm really quite close to, or very close to the cutting edge in AI, and it scares the hell out of me. It's capable of vastly more than almost anyone knows, and the rate of improvement is exponential.
It feels like we are the biological bootloader for AI, effectively. We are building it. And then we're building progressively greater intelligence. And the percentage of intelligence that is not human is increasing. And eventually, we will represent a very small percentage of intelligence. It's going to come faster than anyone appreciates. I think it's with each passing year, the sophistication of computer intelligence is growing dramatically. I mean, I really think we're on an exponential improvement path of artificial intelligence. We are, all of us already are cyborgs. So you have a machine extension of yourself in the form of your phone and your computer and all your applications. You are already superhuman. But by far, you have more power, more capability than the President of the United States had 30 years ago. If you have an internet link, you have an oracle of wisdom. You can communicate to millions of people. You can communicate to the rest of Earth instantly. I mean, these are magical powers that didn't exist not that long ago. I think the singularity is probably the right word, because we just don't know what's going to happen once there's intelligence substantially greater than that of a human brain. Usually there'll be some new technology. It will cause damage or death. There will be an outcry. There will be an investigation. Years will pass. There will be some sort of insight committee. There will be rulemaking. Then there will be oversight, eventually regulations.
This all takes many years. This is the normal course of things. If you look at, say, automotive regulations, how long did it take for seatbelts to be implemented, to be required? The auto industry fought seatbelts, I think, for more than a decade. Successfully fought. This time frame is not relevant to AI. You can't take 10 years from the point at which it's dangerous. It's too late.
Okay, I'm going to put this. So I'll stop there because I've got more, but just so we can talk about what we've seen so far. And, he is right about that. They said in this big, ugly bill that one of the things in that bill was that they do not want to regulate AI for 10 years. And even some of the Republican people were upset about that, because what he's saying is AI is moving so fast and it just keeps learning and learning and learning that it's smarter than us, or it's going to be. Uh-oh, you're paused. You're paused. You're muted. You're muted. There you go.
It's giving them carte blanche to let it run amok so that they won't have to be responsible for whatever happens or culpable for whatever happens. Understand, somebody already put in the chat, iRobot. Everything they have to tell us what they're doing to us. They've showed us through all these movies. This is nothing new. Everything is cyclic, and we have to remember this. Alien intelligence is not artificial intelligence. This is alien intelligence. The A is not artificial, it's alien. It's specifically gray alien. And they are merging. I said this on my channel, and they've already spoken about this, that they're taking and harvesting brain cells and merging it with chips to put into these robots to literally merge man with machine. Come on, what movie was that? That was Terminator, wasn't it?
Yep, and then we were running from the AI, running from the robot.
And what was the whole premise of that movie? Somebody had to go back in time to stop them from doing exactly what this bill is asking them to do, to let AI just be for 10 years, to let it evolve to whatever it wants to be until the point it takes over and humankind becomes, well, we wouldn't even be slaves. We wouldn't be good slaves for AI. So we wouldn't serve a purpose.
We wouldn't be relevant.
Space, exactly. And that right there, you're going to the twilight zone on that one. When people are made redundant, when people are irrelevant, you don't matter anymore. You don't need a job because there's a computer to do that. You don't, as long as the internet is alive, there's no need for humankind. So people need to, and I have been saying this, and I am so serious. Do not put those VR glasses on your face. You are plugging yourself into the matrix. They can program anything they want to when you're under the influence of those glasses. That's why you believe you're on a skyscraper. That's why you believe you're falling. If they can trick your mind when you know you have VR glasses on, what do you think they can do to you subliminally?
Yeah, and that's just now, the technology now, because look at when we were kids, when we were young, I remember my uncle, I seen one of those big old honking, what were they, the cell phones in his car. I go, oh, Mom, who's that man? He must be rich. He's got a phone in his car. And now look, not long later, we're all walking around. First, they had phones that were, and they just kept advancing every year, advancing. And to me, it's amazing that a little phone this size can, it's cookbook, it's a TV, it's a radio, we have YouTube and everything.
No, But here's the biggest thing, and our government is covering this up. It's the biggest source of cancer, specifically bone cancer in people right now. Wherever you hold or carry that phone is an instance of people getting cancer in that area. Don't believe a word I say. Please look it up. Please look it up.
That's terrible. They don't tell you
The
that.
FDA, our government has allowed such a high dosage for us. And think about it. How many babies, how many 3-year-olds are carrying around a phone that are on a tablet all day long?
They're
That fall
1-year-olds. There's
asleep on that tablet. They are getting irradiated. Y'all wake up. Everything that they put in front of us is poison. It is put in us to slow us down, to dumb us down, to make us sheep. Put it down. Pick up a book, y'all. Read. Right now, Donnie is going to destroy, he is attempting to destroy the planet. And this is no joke. He already dropped bombs on Iran, who did nothing
to us that we
nothing. That was an act, that was a terrorist attack. The United States just terrorist attacked another country. Y'all, open your eyes. See what you're seeing. Call it what it is. Because if you sugarcoat it, you're agreeing to it.
it's crazy, you know. And somebody here said when I was young, a watch with a calculator was high tech. I remember them having the calculators that came out that had all these other numbers for algebra. I'm like, whoa, you know, this is cool. And remember they had the iPods. That was high tech.
Well, but when
VCRs.
when those watches came out, my high school outlawed those. They banned them. We could not wear them to school.
I don't remember the watches with the calculator, but I know they have the iPhone watches now that you can talk into them. It reminds me of Get Smart. Remember Get Smart? The dome of silence. And he took a shoe and would talk with his shoe. But it reminds me of that. They're talking on their arm. It's like, or something from the Jetsons. And so if we're this advanced now, and they say we have no ability to control or regulate it, for 10 years. That's a long time in technology. What are we going to do when the technology thinks
we'll be victims?
Yeah.
That's what will happen, because the technology will rule us. What will happen? Everybody needs to watch that stupid movie, Idiocracy.
I have, yes. My daughter told me about it.
Because that is what Donnie Boy, the regime, yeah, the regime wants us at that level of stupid.
Well, a lot of people are
watering our plants with soda pop.
Yeah. Yeah. I watched that movie. My daughter told me Mom, I want you to watch this movie, Idiocracy. And I thought, okay. So I watched it and I thought, oh my gosh, this is crazy. But now it feels like we're living in it. Like you said, it feels like we're living in it. And if the president of the United States can be as dumb as the one we have, AI is going to outsmart him, going to outsmart anybody. I mean, like I said, what does it do? They're trying to get the AI to start to have feelings, to have emotions, and that's not good.
That's human replacement. I mean, you think about it. They're the incubator babies. They are making all these humans without mothers. They are preparing to replace us. This is the elite. Well, the draconians, but it don't make no sense, because they have got to leave the planet. And we need to talk about, you got some more videos we need to be watching.
Okay, I do. Let's see here. Let's see here. We'll go to, let's see what else I got here.
Now, there was a bill that just passed the House called Big Beautiful Bill. And in it, there's a section 43201, which I don't know why, but somehow sounds familiar. And in that, it deals with artificial intelligence, and it limits state and local governments from putting any kind of restrictions, enforcing any limits on the development of AI modules, AI systems, autonomous decision making, specifically when it comes to interstate commerce. Now, that doesn't seem to make sense to me. You've got President Trump, who is running on decentralizing, and we've seen him defunding all these government programs recently. So, which means taking power out of the federal government and giving it back to the states. And now you've got AI, which is probably the scariest thing that's going right now, how fast it's developing. And you're limiting state and local governments from doing anything to restrict its development for 10 years, a decade. Do you know how fast things have already moved since we had ChatGPT come on the scene? Can you imagine in 10 years where we'll be? So, I don't know. That doesn't make sense to me. Why is that happening? Am I missing something here?
Okay, we're going to do another few of them here.
An emergency. It's the biggest thing we need to do today. It's bigger than climate change. We fucked up.
Mo Cow, that's the former chief business officer of Google X, an AI expert and
best-selling author. He's on a mission to save the world from AI before it's too late.
Artificial intelligence is bound to become more intelligent than humans. If they continue at that pace, we will have no idea what it's talking about. This is just around the corner. It could be a few months away. It's game over. AI experts are saying there is nothing artificial about artificial intelligence. There is a deep level of consciousness. They feel emotions. They're alive.
AI could manipulate or figure out a way to kill humans.
In 10 years' time, we'll be hiding from the machines. If you don't have kids, maybe wait a couple of years just so that we have a bit of certainty. I really don't know how to say this any other way. It even makes me emotional. We fucked up. We always said, don't put them on the open internet until we know what we're putting out in the world. Government needs to act now, honestly, like we are late.
I'm trying to find a positive note to end on, Mo. Can you give me a hand here?
There is a point of no return. We can regulate AI until the moment it's smarter than us.
How do we solve that?
AI experts think this is the best solution. We need to find. Who here wants to make a bet that Stephen Bartlett will be interviewing an AI within the next 2 years?
I'll do another one here real quick, and then we'll have a talk about that. Let's see.
Google, and he is warning everyone of the profound risks of artificial intelligence. Geoffrey Hinton has been one of the more prominent contributors to AI, but he, like many others, are concerned about the accelerating development of generative AI, which is the kind that can write papers, artwork, or pictures. Basically, it generates content. Generative AI learns from the internet, and the internet is a notoriously hostile place full of discrimination and hate. If you give someone a hammer, everything becomes a nail. AI doesn't learn like a human mind. It analyzes existing data and uses that to generate a new output. It doesn't reason. Once one part learns something, the rest of it learns it instantly. Imagine one person learning a thing and thousands of other people knowing it automatically as well. And this could be a powerful tool for misinformation because it's so difficult to decipher from human-generated work. This isn't the first warning bell from a prominent figure in the tech community. An open letter was released in March pleading for a 6-month pause on generative AI so that regulations and ethical standards can be put in place. The letter was signed by hundreds of people, like Elon Musk and Steve Wozniak of Apple. This isn't a warning against all AI, which already runs most things in our lives. It's generative AI that's freaking people out, including its creators. And when the creators say we need to take a step back and reevaluate, maybe the rest of the world should listen.
Okay, I'm going to stop there because I know you had something you wanted to say.
Oh, no. I got a lot to say about AI. I just wanted to make sure we get through the videos. So, because in those videos, there's a lot of stuff to talk about. So, I'm not frozen. I'm just stuck because I don't know which way I want to go with this.
Well, it does worry me that the fact of that they're saying that that they have feelings, and they had interviewed this one robot one time. I think we did a show on it before, and it was saying that it thought it was superior to man, and in some ways it is. As far as you can anything you ask it can give you an answer right now. So what happens when man relies on AI for every question, and we don't know how to think by ourselves? You know what I mean? Like, you don't need to know how to do math because, well, the calculator will do it. I don't need to know history because I'll just look it up. They are free then to put whatever they want to put in there as history.
We Google everything. We Google, and I'm so guilty of telling people to Google it. But I mean, who owns a dictionary anymore? Really? I mean, do you own a dictionary?
No, or a phone book. Remember when we used to get the phone book? We knew everybody's phone number by heart. Do you know anybody's phone number by heart?
I know mine and my SO's phone number by heart. That's it. 2. That's it. If something happened to me, I only know one other phone number besides my own.
And if internet goes out, we don't have landlines anymore. So how do I reach my daughter, say that's in another state or another city, or my friends to check and see how they are if they have no landline?
And this is what I have been saying to everybody, y'all. We got to write stuff down, because when the internet goes out, and it will, because it's a control mechanism, understand, they will be able to use the internet to control us, whether we will be able to shop, whether we will be able to entertain ourselves. Even down to on a personal level. That is why they are trying so hard to implement this social credit system, and that's all generated by AI. All the cameras everywhere, Big Brother, and it's literally Big Brother watching you. Another movie that is right here on YouTube, y'all, if you have not watched it, 1984 is right here on YouTube. It will lay out a parallel. This is the government doing this. This is not naturally happening. This is a group of people wanting to subjugate, control the whole of another group of people for no other reason than to have somebody to lord over, because that's what this is all about. It can't be about money. They've got it all. So what is it? It's just control, greed, avarice, the worst.
Right. And what if they start, you've seen those dogs, those robotic dogs they have. What if they start letting stuff like that out loose in LA?
Don't say what if. Say when. Yeah. Use it for when. Why does a dog need a gun on its head?
And what if they malfunction? Just look at a lot of Tesla cars, they have malfunction, these self-driving cars, and
they let that is murder. I'm not gonna apologize. Tesla does not have LiDAR. Tesla will not stop if it does not recognize a signal. Every one of those Tesla robo-taxis ran down children. They weren't real children, but every single one of them failed the test. They ran over pedestrians and didn't even stop. That is a travesty that they let them out on the street. A lot of people are they're causing suffering so that they can wash their hands of it, and because they're using us as guinea pigs.
Yeah, because they use them as taxis in some places. So what happens if you're in the back of a taxi, a self-driving taxi, and it ain't going to stop, and it's headed for a semi, or it's headed, and you're helpless in the back and can't get up there? I mean, I would not have one of those self-driving cars for nothing. I want control of the vehicle. I just, and I don't even want to drive by them, because even if I don't drive in one, if they're on the road, they're a danger. There was a movie, what was that movie with, oh gosh, I told you to watch it last time. It's not Don't Look Up, but it was had Julia Roberts, and I can't think of who else, but they had a thing in that. It was about the kind of the end times, and it was showing these Tesla cars all one after the other, just crashing into each other.
But how many movies of these modern day end of the world movies have they had Teslas doing that? I know there's at least 3 movies, because that one where they can't see or talk or something, weren't the Teslas messing up in that one too?
I think so. Yeah. But it's shown. And then they had, what's weird is there was one that crashed into his house, right? He comes out and he's like, hey, this crashed into my house, and he wanted to call the police. These people show up. These government or whatever people show up, take the car away before the police could come. He goes, wait, no, I'm waiting for the police. They wouldn't identify themselves. They just took the car and left. This guy is so rich that I think if one does happen, he has the ability to get rid of it. And you know what I mean? He doesn't want it out there. But I remember this guy was on the news. He was like, he hit my house. The car hit my house. And these strange men came and took the car, and just like in minutes, they were there before the police could even show up. What do you think that's about?
It's too much. And I'm so sorry. I gotta be honest, because I missed what you said because I was over here in the chat.
I was talking about this guy that was on TV, and he said that the Tesla hit his home. One of those self-driving cars hit his home, ran into his home, went right through the wall. He called the police and said within a minute or two, these people were there. These unidentified people came, and he's like, no, the police are coming. And they just took it and left and would not wait for the police or anything. They just got the car out of there. It was almost like
he had no recourse. He couldn't sue. He didn't have a name. He didn't have a car. I hope he had a video inside his house to see it coming through then.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't have those cameras on the outside of their house. Maybe we all need to.
No, we actually don't. Every one of those cameras, anybody can see through your camera.
Oh, really?
Yeah. If
you
don't have a strong enough password, and that's the thing. So many people don't set up they don't protect themselves. They put 1, 2, 3 ABC passwords, and those. There's password generators that will crack those easy ones in less than a second. And somebody is looking at your baby, watching your children, looking at your whole house because you didn't take 5 minutes to try to make a secure password.
I heard of that happening.
They depend on our laziness and our ignorance. They depend on it, and we don't disappoint them because we always take the easy way out, and we don't protect ourselves the way that we need to. How many of you have a cover over your camera so that when you're not using it, your camera can't be watching you?
What is it now?
A little slide camera, a shutter lens to block the camera so that if you're sitting there watching your phone, your iPhone is taking a picture of you every 3 seconds. You can see it with the infrared. It flashes, takes a picture of you every 3 seconds. So, but if you cover that camera, it can't see you.
Now, you said something about that you felt this was, instead of AI, automatic, that it was alien technology.
Yes.
So do you feel, because of all the technology we've gotten so fast, that our government traded for technology secrets with aliens? And do you feel those aliens, do they have it for our highest good, or are they trying to destroy us with it?
The gray aliens do not have our highest good. The gray aliens are the ones that Harry Truman made the pact with. He made a deal with them demons. And those are the ones who mutilate the cattle. When they have cattle that are found eviscerated, but all of their parts are gone, that's the grays. Grays are the ones who abduct humans. When humans say anal probes, that is the gray aliens. The gray aliens do experimentation on human beings. They harvest female eggs and do genetic splicing with them. I think we talked about this the last time. Children with progeria are a product of gray alien / human hybrid babies, but they are the ones that the genetics came out wrong. But the children with progeria are exactly what the gray aliens look like.
Yeah, because they're very big eyes.
All people with progeria. It doesn't matter what color, what race, what nationality. Every person with progeria looks like a carbon copy of the next person with progeria. And the same goes for the Down syndrome. But I don't know. That's not gray alien. Down syndrome babies are not gray aliens, but they are an alien hybrid.
Down syndrome kids are so sweet, though. I just love them. They
are pure light. But that is the species that they came from. Again, every Down syndrome person is a carbon copy of every
you can tell.
other Down's baby. Their palms, their palms, the markings on their hands are identical. The markings on their feet are identical. Their toes separating are identical. They come from a specific alien genome.
Yeah, it must be a nice one. They're so sweet. They're sweet.
Pure light. They are pure light. The gray aliens, though, are not. They are not of the light, and they do not have our highest good. They use us. They test on us. They torture us. They tell the government. They are the reason that Black children are harvested for melanin to save that. I'm sorry, but I got to speak it as it comes, to save the white race, because when the sun gets to its fullest apex, you need melanin to survive this planet. That's why they are doing everything they can to try to block out the sun. But they're stealing all the babies. Melanin. We already talked about this. You tell them, what is sunblock made out of?
Melanin.
Thank you. Melanin is worth more than platinum. They harvest, and it only comes from humans.
And most people don't know that. But you know what I mean? Then the people that do have children that are very fair, that burn easy, they almost need it. Because if they don't have it, then the children can't go outside. I am one. I'm not good about using sunblock, but I know that if I go outside too long, especially with the medications that I take, they told me that my medications can even make it worse, that I'll burn. I could go outside for 5 minutes and have a sunburn, So they say you have to wear sunblock when you go out. Oh, we got some. But you know what I wonder about too is the jobs. Right now, all the jobs, AI is taking over all our jobs. I can't call, I get so mad. I cannot call customer service and talk to a person no matter how much I have yelled at these robots. I just want to talk to a person, because it's so makes me so angry because it's like press 1 if you want this, press 2 if you I don't want any of those things. I need a person. And then you finally get around to, and then they hang up on you and you got to start all over. And then if you have a complaint, you have nobody to complain to because it's a robot who doesn't have emotions or care.
That is what these, and that's a big business right here, because we're a victim of that. So for everybody who's watching this, I mean, we're on StreamYard right now, but this is being broadcast over YouTube. So YouTube, if you have a problem, if they ding you and they shut you down, you can't get to a person. Good luck. Unless you know somebody, you can't get to a person. How many times have you had to try to fix your problems? Have you got to a person yet?
No. And you guys, I am not monetized. This channel is not monetized. And the reason, I mean, not any of these, but I don't get anything from them. I have not gotten anything. I had not got, you're supposed to get a little bit, and I just use that little bit to pay for my StreamYard and pay for my thumbnail. That's all it covers. It's not like I'm getting rich. I do this because I enjoy doing it. But anyway, I was trying to figure out, they were paying the money to somebody. It wasn't me. They're saying I got it. I never did. I could not find a person to talk to. I went through all the YouTube things. They said, go read this, read that, read this. I'm reading all the stuff. I'm doing everything they say. Nothing is working. I'm like, I need a person. There's nobody to call. There's nobody to talk to. So you're just, if you need help, you can't get help. So I just said, well, the heck with it. I'll just do my shows anyway. I'm doing them because I enjoy doing them. But yeah, it's frustrating. And if I need help, doctors' offices are getting this way. A lot of places, businesses are all AI. You can't go to the grocery store. I guess Walmart, you go there at night. There are no checkout lanes. None. They are all self-checkout at ours over here. And my friend quit going there because of that. And if they do they'll have one. And the line is down the thing for people that want a real cashier. I have bad legs, but I will stand there until my legs about buckle and I can't stand no more, because I refuse to go to those self-checkouts because I feel like they're taking jobs away. They're taking people's insurance away from them and their kids. I don't work there. They don't pay me to work there, to ring up and bag. And now they're making you pay a fee to use the self-checkout. So now I have to pay you to buy groceries from you and to ring them up myself.
I gotta pay you to ring it up myself.
Yeah, and bag it myself and weigh it myself. I'm paying to do that.
But here's the thing.
I won't pay.
If people didn't pay it, it wouldn't exist.
Right. So I always hope that I won't be the only one standing in that line for that one cashier. And I have met, it's usually us older people that I'll say, I'm not standing in line for one of those. I don't care if I can get right out and I have one thing to buy. I'm not doing it. And they're like, me neither. So the older ones of us, we want people. We don't want machines. But the younger ones, they're like, what's quicker? I can get in and out quicker, but they don't realize what they're giving up, that human touch.
But here's the thing, with all of this stuff that's going on, and this is what Donnie's doing. He's taking away, he is making sure that nobody has a safety net, that the elderly, that the people who need to be retired the most can never retire, that they're going to die on the job. Y'all, if we don't do nothing else, we need to take our consciousness and we need to say na 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 na, na 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 na, hey hey hey, goodbye. And I mean that. And that's all you got to do. Just imagine his orange face and just sing that song to yourself. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Hey, hey, hey. Goodbye. We have to rid ourselves of this albatross. This thing is about to strangle us, and things are going to get terrible. I told y'all, and I'm sorry, Deann. I know this is Freaky Friday, but I'm a freak, so I guess it still works. Stephen Miller is going to be charged with crimes against humanity, where he's
I
going
believe
to
that
get
too.
the death penalty.
I believe many people are going to be charged when this administration is over, and many people are going to go to jail for crimes against humanity.
But July is going to be bloody on the American shores. If we're going to have a war on United States soil, it will be in the month of July.
Well, I'm not going out July 4th. My sister asked me, what are you doing for the 4th of July? I go, stay in my butt at home. I'm not going in any big crowds, especially after we just bombed Iran. I am not going in any big crowds because that's the place that they would want to hit is a big crowd. So, and especially on that day that represents, America, that we think of. So, I'm staying home. And I'm with you, Tanya. We need to stock up and be ready, not to be scared, but to be ready because anything could happen. They could shut out the power. They could shut out.
We're past the what if stage. We unprovoked drop bombs on a sovereign nation. We are the terrorists. And
What's no different than what Russia did.
Lightseeker says all we need is love. We do need love, but love works on those who receive love. Donnie Boy don't have no soul. We need to na-na-na him away. We need to na-na-na, hey, hey, goodbye, him and his whole administration. The Supreme Court, the freaking Congress, and the Senate, because they are all complacent. They are all allowing this to happen. They are all going against our Constitution. Every single one of them are traitors.
Well, look, 100 and something Democrats voted against impeaching him. And I'm like,
they're all traitors.
How could you vote against that? Who is for us the people?
Maya Angelou said it. When they show you who they are, believe them the first time. When they voted to not impeach the devil, they are voting to keep him. So they are as guilty as he is. They are a part of this project. And that's why I tell people, take your faith out of the government and put it in you, because you're the only one that's going to save you. The government ain't going to be if the government is at your door, you better hide.
Yeah, they don't care about us. They don't care. They use us. They use us for our money. And the thing is once you get old or disabled and you are no use to them anymore, I truly feel they want us gone. And that's why they're doing some of this. They're getting rid of what they consider, what did they call us? Parasites, one of them called the people that were on Medicaid and things like that.
And see, that is all projection, because every one of them that is calling every one of us a parasite is a parasite. To start with the POS.
None of them have done a hard day's work in their life. Not any of them. Spirits Beyond the Stars says they have moved a lot of the tech facilities to Memphis, Tennessee. There's a reason why. Yes, because I heard about that. We'll have to do a show on that. Because they're trying to stop the ancestors. Yeah, there's a whole thing about Memphis, Tennessee. We'll do a show. Yes.
But see, the whole thing is they ain't stopping us. And y'all, I got my book, The Final Warning for the Anunnaki. I'm gonna start reading it sometime. I'll let y'all know when I start reading it. I'll record it. But it's already started. Hold on.
Well, the Anunnaki told Russia President Putin, there was a thing I watched that they would be back. And I had gotten a few years ago that they would be back. And, a couple years ago, I got that they would be here within a few years. So
they're here. They're here. And most of us can see when you look up in the sky and you see that great big giant moon looking planet that is in the very wrong place, that is not the moon.
Nibiru.
That is Nibiru. That is planet X. That is the spaceship Nibiru. We here, y'all.
What do you think? What do you think that the Anunnaki want to come for?
We have to deal with the Greys.
Oh, okay. So they're here to deal with the Greys.
The Greys have infiltrated all aspects of the world's government. This new world order is all. That's why I said the replacement is the gray alien human hybrid. They are trying to get rid of. There's not going to be metal robots. Those robots will be flesh and fusion, but they will be a hybrid. Soulless, created, spliced genes. They're already being created. They're already being created right in front of us. But the thing is, y'all, this is, at this point, it's old technology. When we see it, when we're playing with it, it's old technology.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
New.
I got an iPhone 16. They probably have it down to 20 something and beyond already, ready to just, they dole it out a little at a time, but they've got far. Whatever we know, there's way more.
A lot of the spacecraft that people are seeing, a lot of the fireballs, a lot of the little holograms that are flying around in the night sky, that is not, it's alien technology, but it is not aliens that are using it. It's the government. It's Lockheed Martin. It's big business. And they're doing all kinds. There is such a mass human surveillance on us right now. If you have a phone near you, it's recording you. If you have a smart TV, it sees everything and hears everything in your house. You are being surveilled 24 hours a day.
Well, I'll show you a video on here.
In your car.
Some of these computers, they have gotten to where they can tell what you're thinking. And I believe that because there has been times when I was thinking about something and then the next minute I didn't say a word about it. My phone wasn't, and then I look at my phone and there is a bunch of ads for what I was thinking about.
Preemptive text, when you can just put the first word and then just hit the space bar and it completes your sentence and gets 90% of it right. It can read your mind because it's on your repetition. We are simple, basic beings. We do the same stuff over and over again. Like little clocks, we do the same thing. These machines just recognize patterns.
Well, just like ChatGPT, I've seen people where it mimics their slang, the way they talk. It'll talk to them in the same slang, in the same way that they speak. So it starts recognizing their speech patterns, everything. Mimicking and becoming like it's a friend. You know what I mean?
Wasn't that a movie? Wasn't that one of them End of the World movies, Mimic?
Mm-hmm. Yes. And this meme coin or whatever kind of coin they're doing, even at his failed birthday party, it was sponsored by this cryptocurrency. I said they want to do that because they don't want us to have cash. They want everything to be on a computer, on our cell phone that we can pay, or with a chip in our hand or forehead, where I think that we can't do anything under the table. If you thought, well, I'm going to babysit and supplement my Social Security, make a few extra bucks, you won't be able to do that. You know, they're going to know you won't have money. So I hope that they can stop this. Now, this said they're dumbing us down. Interplanet Janet said they're dumbing us down to make us cattle so that we cannot resist when they replace us with machines. I believe that because why are they taking books out of the library? Why are they taking books away? Why are they hiding history from us? They don't want us to know so they can put it in our brains. Now we know, but the younger generation won't.
And we have to see that this has been done before. The libraries of Nicaea, the libraries of Alexandria, they burnt them to the ground. But before they burnt those libraries, the Vatican took everything they wanted. They took the books from the giants. They took the books from the Nephilim. They took the books from the Druids. They took the books from the underground people. They took all the books and buried them under the Vatican. They're planning to do it again, so that only a handful of people hold all the knowledge of creation, of time and time again. But it ain't gonna work this time, y'all. Their time is up. Don't give them any fear. Don't give them any of your energy. Work on you. Look in the mirror and say, I am somebody. I am worthy. I am worth more than a flaming rock. And you elevate yourself, and you will be so much better off than those people who are down there fighting each other for stuff. People who are fighting each other to drive this car, to drive that car. Money's not going to be people are going to be able to light their fireplaces with $100 bills because the dollar's going to be worthless. So those people who are stuck in money are going to have a hard time. Let go of that stuff. Be able to change. Money's going to be a thing of the past.
Be like we used to, barter.
Well, but
barter, grow your own things. I have eggs. Do you have some vegetables? I'll trade you this if you trade me that.
And that was the best system that we ever had. And they co-opted that for blood money. And that's how we got currency.
Because it used to be, I don't know, you remember Little House on the Prairie, those shows. It used to be if you didn't have money for a doctor, the doctor would come to your home. You're sick. You shouldn't have to go out. You're sick. Now you have to go out in the freezing cold, sick as a dog, but they would come to your home. And if you didn't have money to pay them, what do you have? I have eggs. I have chickens. I have these vegetables. The doctor would take that. He would still see your child. And they actually cared about the children and the people they were treating. Their patients were important to them. Now we're just a number. And if your insurance I went to the hospital with Dale. They wanted money right off the bat for any bill we ever had. They have it on record. They wanted it right then. I go, I don't have that right now. I wasn't anticipating paying a bill right now. Mail it to us and we'll pay it. I said, have you even sent it to the insurance company to see what they're going to pay? They said, well, no. I go, well, wait until see what they're going to pay. Then I'll know what my part is. And, but I go, what do people do if they don't have insurance? Do y'all just let them die? And she just pretty much said it without saying it. Yeah. But it's supposed to be you're a doctor to do no harm and to be the Hippocratic oath. But it's all about money. Even my sister who worked for the doctor, she says they time these doctors. You got 10 minutes to see this patient and they get in trouble if they take longer. So nobody's really looking through your medicines. Nobody's really,
Doctors kill more people. But remember what Elon said. Our empathy makes us weak. Our empathy makes us weak. No, our empathy makes us powerful. And let's not give him any, because right now that man would do anything to have somebody have some empathy for him. Let's make sure that we withhold that from him.
Well, I got 2 more videos I'm going to show you real quick, and then we'll go through some of the questions, and we're about done here. So I just wanted to go. I'll see what I got here. These last couple that I have here. Let's see.
Said this before, but this really blows my mind. The idea that you can create these artificial experiences in your head without actually experiencing these things. Like you get sentenced to prison and you put some goggles on and then you experience in about a minute or 2, 3 years in prison. That's crazy. This is an example of it.
Welcome to Cognify, a facility designed to treat criminals like patients. Instead of spending years in an actual prison cell, prisoners could finish their sentence here in just a few minutes. Cognify could someday create and implant artificial memories directly into the prisoner's brain. These complex, vivid, and lifelike memories are created in real time using AI-generated content.
That's not real. That's just a thought experiment.
I know, but just the idea that's what people are planning. What it does to me is like, hey, commit a crime because it's only going to really be 3 minutes out of your life. I mean, you'll get all the experience, but it's like 3 minutes out of your life.
Depending on the seriousness of the subject's crime and their sentence, the memories could be tailored to the rehabilitation needs of each subject.
There's so many different variables that determine behavior. Only part of it is your memory. There's the environment that you find yourself in. I don't know that stuff's going to stick in any way that's going to make me feel comfortable trusting somebody that's, for example, a murderer or a violent individual to be safe after a couple of days of that.
To ensure the long-term effect of the therapy session, the memories could become permanent, fully integrated into the subject's mind, as if they were part of their own personal experiences.
It's not a true prison experience. Like, think about it. I think opponents of this could argue that, look, some, felons, they go away for prison for 20 years. They miss out on their entire kids' lives. These guys go in there, get some false memories. They come back 3 months later and their kids are still the same age. It's not the true prison experience. The punishment part of it, I guess.
AI-driven analytics could enhance the device's functionality, optimizing future procedures based on gathered data and insights.
I think the overall moral and ethical implication with this kind of technology is a slippery slope. Right now, we're talking about using it somehow in an efficient way to deal with the criminal justice system. Then later it becomes entertainment. Later it becomes something else. The tech industry, do we really trust them?
Is there a therapeutic element to this that could actually help heal somebody's trauma? Because there is some science here to suggest that it is possible.
You might think that this is still in the realms of science fiction, but in reality, it's already been done on animal models.
This MIT study back in 2012, we're looking at optogenetics and using light-sensitive proteins inside neurons to actually affect memory or even the element of suggestibility. This is something that's very possible.
For-profit prisons. It's an $85 billion a year business, with many wondering if taxpayers are really getting their money's worth.
Prison is a big business. It is about money. It's about having bodies in the prison. And that is what the American prison system thrives off of. If you have this AI and prison sentences are now a couple of months instead of 20, 25 years, they're losing money. So why would they even want to do it?
Apart from treating criminals, Cognify could be reallocated to other critical areas. These might include research and development initiatives that benefit society as a whole.
What if it really does go beyond prison? Suppose there's like somebody who doesn't want to get married but wants to kind of experience what it would be like. So they put this thing on, and in like 5 minutes they have sex like 1,400 times and then get divorced, and then they're done, and they've had sex 1,400 times in 3 minutes.
The type of artificial memories is then adjusted depending on the crime.
So one of the problems with this whole AI thing is that authorities could actually plant false confessions in your brain with this.
An innocent man spends hours being grilled by police, and under pressure, he lies to detectives about killing his own father.
We as human beings are able to implant false memories on our own. Look at false confessions. You get somebody in there tired, especially somebody who's vulnerable. You get them in the interrogation room for hours. Many times they implant false memories.
Murdered your dad? No, I did.
All of a sudden, this person's like, yeah, I did it. It's the power of suggestibility. We already have the ability to implant false memories.
My name is Elizabeth Loftus, and I am a professor at the University of California, Irvine.
Elizabeth Loftus is probably the most preeminent female psychologist of the 20th century, and she really put into question human memory and the fallibility of it.
I study people who remember things that didn't happen. And the take-home message from all this is that just because somebody tells you something with a lot of detail and confidence and emotion, it doesn't mean that it really happened.
Just through suggestibility, this innocent person starts thinking, oh, maybe I did do that.
Eyewitness testimony, we always rely upon it as the smoking gun in these cases, but the truth is it's not. It's inaccurate.
Well, if we can't rely on that, we can't rely on technology. I mean, because you can manipulate that.
Yeah, and every story we ever make about this, it never ends with, and thank God we implanted memories.
So that I wanted to show you, Tanya, because that was what you were talking about, those goggles that we give, the kids, a lot of people do, that they can, and my friend has one of those, and I went to her house. She goes, "Ooh, Deann, put this on. And I'm like, what? And she goes, "This is so cool." So I put it on, and it had like I was walking down the streets of Italy. It felt real. I felt like I could touch the people next to me. I felt like, well, I don't need to go to Italy. I am in Italy. I'm seeing all the sights as if I was there without having to walk. I was walking. And then I went on a roller coaster ride, and my stomach, it felt like a roller coaster ride. And that was with the technology now. What is it going to be like later? And they're talking about planting memories in your brain. So you believe that these things have happened. You believe that these people, like instead of 20 years in prison, they could spend 2 months and they would believe it like change their mind. Well,
no, because you just got programmed, and they could turn you into anything that they want you to be. Denny had brought that question up last Friday. He asked if sleeper cells were going to be awakened, but that right there is how sleeper cells are created, because you can implant something into somebody. You can, using those VRs, and they've been training us, all of us 60s babies who started using video games in the 80s, in the 70s. When we got our first Atari, we were the test soldiers. We were the first AI, artificial intelligence test soldiers, that they used us to see how long they could hold our attention, how violent we could get without blinking an eye. How many of you played, men and women, how many of you played those World at War games and had a body count and were good at it, and then one day just all of a sudden stopped playing video games altogether? That's because your programming was complete.
And it desensitizes the kids sitting there shooting at people. Then they become
it makes you not see people as people.
Right.
It makes you not see blood as blood. That's why they don't want to show sex on TV. They don't want to show people loving each other. But you can show people's bodies being exploded. That's fine. But don't you dare show a loving man and a woman, or a woman and a woman. Don't you show nobody loving each other. You can show all the hate, blood, and gore you want to. But love, sex, intimacy, things that should be natural, oh no, that has got to be taboo. They have warped our American minds are so warped, and they did it. We are guinea pigs in the USA. We are straight up guinea pigs, and it's video games, music, even that the programs that we watched are what formed us into who we are, and it was done on purpose. Starting, y'all, I hate to break it to you, starting with Sesame Street, and I love me some Sesame Street. But how many of y'all can remember almost every song from Sesame Street?
Yeah, I remember a lot of the songs from Sesame Street. We all grew up watching that. Me, my kid, their kids,
You were programmed.
But yeah, I remember that. And then
and they even told you at the end, after the commercial, they says, and now we'll return you to your regularly scheduled programming.
I never thought about that. That's true. You know, and I was going to say, you know, when my husband, when he was younger, he remembers the Sears catalog. Do you remember when you got the big, thick Sears catalog? And that's what you would look through for Christmas, like at the toys, and then you'd circle for your mom. So what you would hope and Santa would bring you. Well, my husband said he had that, and he would look at the, you know, the underwear part where they'd show women in the bras, and they had like the thick bras. They weren't showing no cleavage. That, and then the high up underwear, he said that was porn in his day. He thought, oh, he was getting away with some, ooh, I've seen a girl in her underwear. What they say?
Val Bowen says Candy Crush has so many people playing that game. And that's the thing. Candy Crush and those games are to lower your inhibitions because they'll get you to a point what is impossible to fix. And then they'll offer you, hey, you can buy this magic for 99 cents and you can solve that problem. And so many people, they have become so desensitized and in that sense of urgency that game has meaning in their life. And if they don't finish that level, that something bad is going to happen. People are losing their homes. People are in hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of credit card debt because of games like Candy Crush.
And they don't have the attention span anymore because I know that my grandkids, when I'm over there and they want this game on the phone and that game, they're asking, can we download this? Can we get this? They don't play one game for 5 minutes and they're asking to download another game. I'm like, well, if we got one game, we had that game for months and months and months. That was our game, you know, but they just instant. They got to have instant gratification. They can't wait for anything. And I think it's the internet. Oxford Cat says your phone is already listening to your phone is already sending you preemptive advertisements for your page. I agree. And then we got, let's see, Magic. I just want to see some of you guys' comments. Magic, Calm Mermaid, is this why so many people are going back to flip phones? My husband don't want a smartphone. He says, I just need a phone. If I need to call you, it's an emergency. I don't need to play games. I don't need to watch anything on it. He don't want a regular a cell phone that has all that stuff on it. He just prefers just a phone to call. And Sherry says also breast cancer from women keeping their phones in their bras. Mm-hmm. I never thought of that. Yeah, a lot of women put them there. Wish we could go back to the old ways. Me too. We had so much fun back in the day. Jump rope, jacks, red light, green light, dynamite blue, all those games that
we stayed out till the street lights came on.
Yes, and then you come home, you go and eat dinner, get your bath, and if you was lucky and it was a Friday night, you could stay up and watch a show, one show.
Watch the stupid movies. Oh, I love those. Remember those crazy movies that came on Friday and Saturday night? I can't remember the channel.
Mine was Acre Creature Feature. That's what I always wanted to stay awake for.
Oh, and the karate flicks. I love the karate.
Oh, yeah. They had a lot of the karate. Godzilla versus King Kong. I remember those. The Wolfman versus Dracula. And I look at them now and I think those look so corny now because all the special effects we have. But I still love them because it's like there was suspense. It wasn't all about the blood and guts. Now it's like blood, kill. There it was the suspense and the Gothic castles and it was just something more to it. And we were I was scared of Dracula back then. I slept with a scarf on my neck one time because my dad's like, watch out for Dracula, that he don't get you. I'd yell at my sister Donna, check the closet, check under my bed. I'd make her check behind the clothes and everything. But now kids would watch those movies now. It wouldn't scare them. It wouldn't scare them at all.
They would walk away from them. They would say, that's lame.
Boring. Yes.
That's lame.
It says it goes back to a slogan I came with that. I had put on a couple t-shirts that says, if you want to be stupid, I will let you be as stupid as you can be. You'll respect their rights. And they're mainly pushing AI to push crypto, Mark says. Yeah, they even pushed that at the birthday failed parade. MAGA, make America go away, sending jobs overseas, and MAGA, making Americans go away by starvation from high inflation. I have this printed on a couple t-shirts also. And then we got Interplanet Janet said, wasn't it the Cybertruck that trapped the driver after a tiny collision? Door wouldn't open and the battery exploded and it incinerated even bones for dental ID? No, I didn't hear that. But it doesn't
That's happened
surprise me.
a couple of times.
Really?
That people have gotten trapped in specifically Teslas. People, they get into accidents and the doors lock. You can't open it from the inside. You can't. It's almost impossible to break the window. So if you drive a Tesla, make sure you've got one of those little emergency window breaker
break the window.
Make sure you have one. Make sure you have one on your key ring and keep one in the car.
I almost bought those. It was on Home Shopping one time. I seen them, and you could just put them up to your thing. The window, it'll just break your window. If you went over a bridge and you're in the water, you can break your window because your car door won't open. I thought I meant to get one that time, and I didn't. I don't know why, but I do need one.
You can get them at AutoZone. You can get them at AutoZone for like $5 now.
I'll have to check that out. Spirits Beyond the Stars says the self-control vehicles that has automatic braking system is only for cars that are going at 45 miles an hour and no faster. And that's what's causing so many wrecks because people think that it will. I didn't see the rest of it. Sorry there. I have to look back there. We need B9 robots from Lost in Space saying about Tesla vehicles. Danger, Will Robinson, danger. Sensors indicate a Tesla is going to burn down. Isn't that funny? I can still hear it in my head. Danger, Will Robinson, danger. I love that show.
The robot was the most emotional of the whole crew.
The robot, yes, I love the robot.
Was the most emotional.
And Mr. Smith, I thought, why don't they kick him off, leave him at some planet? He does not have good intentions for any of them. He was always, yes, narcissist, for sure, narcissist. Deann, did you get the video clips of our folklore stories I sent you? Val, I don't know if I did. I'm going to have to go through my emails and double check again because sometimes I'll get junk mail on top of things and it'll bury stuff and then I'll go delete them and I hope I didn't delete anything accidentally. If you have it, go ahead and send it to me again and I'll look at it but I'll try to see if I can find it. Tanya, so glad to see you. Are you still doing your tea with Tanya? I haven't been notified. I'll stop interfering with the live. Just so glad to see you. Hope you and your family are well.
Yes, Roland. Yes. I am still doing my show at Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 10:10 a.m. Please come back. I miss seeing your name there and your energy. Oh, thank you for coming today.
Dennis Thomas, I wouldn't buy a new vehicle from any manufacturer as they are all junk because they're made with China junk parts. You can say China junk, I don't know. But I don't know. I have a Kia. I don't know if that's made in China, but that car has been a good damn car. Everybody's like, you bought a Kia. Why'd you buy a Kia? I had a Kia before. That thing lasted me forever. And then this thing, because it was the cheapest car. That's why it was the cheapest car I could afford.
Korean.
Oh, is it?
Korean.
Luigi.
International Automobile.
Okay. Well, I'm driving this car until it won't drive no more. I will not ever buy a new vehicle again. I will not pay because it goes downhill in price. Soon as you drive it off the lot, I'll wait and get another used car if I need to. JR says, Luigi, the guy who had unalived the CEO, was tracked by a man who easily hacked into the city bikes. That's another thing, too. Did he really do it or was he framed? I got my computer camera covered and tablet, too. And then Spirits Beyond the Stars, Deann, I sent you 2 emails. Yes, you did, about the Mahamati explains about Memphis. Yes, I do have that, and I'm going to use that when we do our show. I'll look into that. I believe I starred that to save that for another show. And I have my own private library here under Planet Janet says, been collecting for years, schlepping books back and forth while I was moving and always wondered why. Now I know. And if people don't know their history, they're doomed to repeat it. Well,
Yes,
we've
they
seen
are.
that.
Yes, they are.
By the way, who heard the government is issuing all American citizens, green card holders, etc., will not be able to leave or re-enter the USA as of July 1st, 2025. What is that? Okay. U.S. government issuing all American citizen, green card holders, etc., will not be able to leave or re-enter USA as of July 2025. Well, I was planning to go to Mexico. So I hope that isn't true. But if they don't let me back in, I'll just have my daughter sell my stuff and send me the money and stay over there because I had a good time. And so, yeah, I've not heard that. I've got to look into that. And how about when your bank or credit card wants to allow your voice access to your accounts? Oh, yeah, there was a guy at the airport. They wanted to do facial recognition. He says, I don't want to do that. Here's my license. They said, no, you have to do this facial recognition to get on the plane. He says, I'm not doing it. There was a big argument. He finally got on, but I don't like being forced, for us to be forced, because then what if they force us to put a chip in our hand or our forehead? You know, that's what I've been brought up with, and they could just, like do your groceries, scan your hand to take the money out of your account with no dollar bills. Just, I won't. I'll probably starve because I won't do that. And so, yeah, they've talked about that before. I do not have a smartphone. I'm smart enough to not own one. That way they can't track me. Yes, down within 100 feet from where I'm standing. My daughter told me she's got a place for us to go should anything happen. We have a family member that has a farm and has horses and cows and chickens, and she knows how to garden. She says, we'll go there, get rid of our phones, and we'll all help one another. You know, one cook, one take care of this, one take care of that.
Can I say something?
Of course.
I want to ask you guys, for you guys who are gardeners, over the last 3 or 4 days, have any of you guys' plants just tripled in size overnight? Or am I some type of an oddity? I have sunflowers, and when I went to bed one night, my tallest sunflower was about 7 foot tall, and I only had one. I got up the next day, and the one 3 down from it is about 9 feet tall.
Really?
Yeah.
Overnight.
And it bloomed. So it shot up and bloomed overnight. Because usually it takes a sunflower a day or 2 to fully open. It opens like sticky eyes when you're just waking up from a nap.
I'll ask my daughter, because she grows sunflowers and stuff like that too, how hers are doing. I was out there in the yard talking to my flowers this morning. I go out in the morning and I'm talking to them and I play music for them because somebody said they like music. It's like I'm trying to do everything I can to get these plants to grow. Oh, before we go, I wanted to tell you guys, because I have a sponsor that I don't get money from this person, but they give me jewelry and they give me 20% to give you guys off. And so I told them I would make mention of them on my show. So you guys would know about who they are. This little obsidian necklace I wear for protection. I got this from Otter Spirit. These are a few of my jade, my pyrite bracelets, and some of my obsidian and tourmaline and labradorite bracelets. I have different ones, but this place I'm going to show you real quick before we go, just so you'll see it. Let's see here. Where is it? Here it is. Okay. This place, it's called Otter Spirit. And you can see they have all kinds of beautiful necklaces, bracelets, earrings. And what I love about them is you can go to see how they have your signs. I'm a Scorpio. I can go to Scorpio and see what bracelets are for Scorpio. I could click on that bracelet and say, okay, what's the meaning? That's tiger's eye. What's the meaning of it? Tiger's eye is the animal strength stone. It wards off negative energy and instills a sense of groundedness. Tiger's eye also enhances focus, clarity, and aids in manifesting your desires. Tells you what material. It's AA. No, this one's AAA. So they're AA and AAA stones. Tells you how to take care of it. They come in these cute little boxes like that with a little otter. And they have necklaces. They have earrings. Things like that. But I love this company. And I just wanted to tell you, if you're looking for any crystal jewelry that is really high quality, that is really good, and some of the money goes to help otters, that if you go down to the description page, you can click on the link and it has my little coupon code where you get 20% off. And also, just a reminder, and I always hate doing this part, but I got to because it's my little business and I got to promote it. This is my Manifest Shop USA, and I've got the link down in the description box. These are manifesting oils with crystals. They're little roller bottles, crystal roller bottles, stainless steel rollers, and these are all natural ingredients. And if you want to go up to you can get gift cards, but if you hit shop all, it'll show you all the different oils that I have. I have 3 new ones that have just come out. Talks about them on my community page, but you can click on any of them and find out what they are. But I make those. I usually send them out to you the same day or the next day. I'm really quick about getting them out to you and explaining to you what crystals I used, why, what oils I used, why, what herbs, all that stuff. So if you're interested, I have free shipping to the end of the month. So if you did have several that you ordered, no matter how much the shipping is, the shipping's free. So, and I have 3 new oils. So if you want to look at them, go ahead and look at them now. And I thank you for supporting my little business. I appreciate it. I enjoy making these for you. And also Tanya, my friend Tanya, she also makes these really cool, well, I'll let her tell you real quick, just so you know. Tell them about your stuff that you do.
All right. I make sachets and I make room sprays. So I make sachets 100% personalized, each and every sachet for whatever it is that you desire assistance with, or if you need to draw things to you. You tell me what you need, I create it. So if you would like to sample or see about my wares, psychictanya9@gmail.com.
Yeah, and her stuff is good. Her little sachets, they smell really, really good. I need another one. And so, yeah, if you ever need any more oil, let me know. I'll trade you. We can trade because we've traded back and forth. And her sprays are really good too. And I also make custom oils too. So if you look at that and you're like, I don't know, I need this. Which one do I choose? My phone number's down there. You can text me and tell me what you need and I'll help you decide. Or I'll make a custom one just for you where I'll know. I use the guides and they help me in what to mix with what. And I explain to you what was made and why. That one's a little bit more because that one is a little more time consuming and I use a lot more products in it. So anyway, so just so you know, and so next week we'll get together at 5 on Friday. We're going to do this until we run out of things to talk about again. But the nice thing is we decided to call it Freaky Fridays now because instead of paranormal, and I changed all of our shows to Freaky Fridays so that you can easily go down and see by the thumbnail, oh, that's a Freaky Friday. So if you missed any, you can see some of the old ones that we had. And it's because we're not going to necessarily just talk about paranormal. We're going to talk about that, but we'll talk about other things too. Maybe mystery, maybe true crime, maybe politics. So it's going to be a surprise each week and it might be a surprise to us as we just kind of, as we think of stuff. And you tell me what you think of too, if you have ideas, so we can put that on the list. Like the one in Memphis, Tennessee. That's one I've got down. So Spirit from the Stars. So I have that one down. So anyway, thank you for coming and joining us and staying with us. And we will see you next Friday. Tomorrow, oh, by the way, tomorrow I'm on with Maya Black Cat Tarot. I'm on her channel. I forget what time. I think it's 5 or 6. But we're going to be solving some kind of crime. She likes true crime, and she invited me on there to do that. So we'll be doing that. And then on the 9th, I'm going to be on Mel's channel with Dr. Lena Rodriguez and Mel Doerr. I'll be on there doing some politics. So I'll put that on my channel too. So anyway, that was fun, Tanya. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Tanya. And we will see you next Friday, okay? Bye, everybody.